Okay, we have Haley, Krista, Thomas, Kevin, Chuck, Noah, Kiana. All right, today I'm going to talk to you about this. What would life be without Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter? There are many positives to the social media that's available to all of us today. There's also many negatives. Today I'm going to talk to you about both of them and try to help you see the positives and negatives and help you try to find a healthy balance with the use of social media in your life. I've done extensive reading and research on this subject. I've done an observation of people of all ages using social media, and I've done an extensive survey of 20 of my peers on this topic. The appropriate use of social media can have many benefits. If you find a healthy balance with social media in your life, it can be very life enhancing. It enables globe-wide contact with family and friends around the world. It is essentially free if you can obtain internet access. It's very easy to use for even the most novice of beginners, and it's available to anyone with a smartphone or a device, a wireless device. It's used by many businesses. Almost any business that has a web page, you will see one of those logos at the bottom. Like us on Twitter, or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. It's used by politicians. It's used by individuals very much. And it's also used by students. They can blog, they can communicate with each other, they can collaborate on projects just to, help with their studies and all sorts of things like that. We have to understand the entire impact of this issue and examine its negative aspects as well as its positives. With increased use of it to communicate with family and friends, it extremely impacts and decreases face-to-face interactions or even telephone conversations. It causes distancing in relationships, and it even extends down to children who are also now using social media, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. www.businesstocommunity.com social media states social media's negative impact on production, or social media has had a negative impact on production due to the use of social media by employees while at work, which means that while people are at work, they are getting on their mobile devices and using social media instead of working as they should be, and therefore that decreases production. Another negative aspect of social media is the fact that many people do not consider that potential employers do extensive background checks prior to hiring, and they a lot of times will check social media networks. If something negative has been posted, they will see that, and it can result, and many times does, in that person not being hired for the job, or it can affect their present employment, and it can ruin their reputation if something negative has been posted. It can have a negative impact on all types of relationships, because once something is posted, it becomes permanent, and it can come back to haunt a person 20 to 30 years later. It can destroy lives. It can have a detrimental effect. www.washington.cbslocal.com states that over 73% of online adults now use social networking sites. 73%. that is a huge percentage of adults who regularly use networking sites. People tend to act differently in cyberspace than they do in interpersonal relationships. People find it easier to bully people because the consequences aren't there right in front of your face. It has caused relationships to lose quality. It has caused distancing to occur. Corey Harvey of the Napa Valley Register states that over 300 million people actively and monthly as of last December 10th, 2014 use social networking or use the social networking site Instagram, and that is only one site. There are thousands of social networking sites, and more are popping up every single day. All the sources I have researched are in 100% agreement that that social networking has changed how people communicate. All the people I have observed and surveyed have agreed that since the use of social media, they have had decreased social interaction. Decreased social interaction, both by teens and adults, leads to increased depression, increased feelings of disconnect, and lower self-esteem. It can become very addictive. Out of the 20 peers that I interviewed extensively, 18 of those 20 admitted to using social networking on a daily basis, some as much as up to 6 hours out of every single day. They have all noted a decreased quality in their relationships with friends and family, and every single person stated that their lives are much more complicated since they began using social networking on a daily basis. Some of them have admitted to using social networking sites while at work, while they're supposed to be working. All agreed that it has become addictive. They have noticed distancing in all of their relationships, and all of them have had at least one negative experience that they deeply regret and cannot take back. What we need to do is look at our habits, change some of them, find a healthier balance. Use social networking for what it was created to be. It can be very beneficial if used responsibly. We need to use it responsibly so we can teach our children to use it responsibly. Only then can we reap the true benefits of what it was created for. To keep in touch with family and friends, to use it wisely as businesses intend for it to be used. Social networking is here to stay. It's not going to go away. But nothing can beat true and good conversation with a good friend. Thank you.